Yo, hold on to your absolute minds. Because what I am looking at right now is not just a motorcycle. It is a straight-up spaceship on two wheels. And my jaw is literally glued to the floor. The 2026 BMW K16B is an absolute psychological assault on what we thought a bagger could be. Taking that classic low-slung, mean American cruising silhouette and injecting it with a massive, pulsating dose of pure German mad scientist engineering. I am talking about a machine that looks like it was ripped straight out of a dark, futuristic graphic novel, commanding the pavement with this sinister, blacked-out menacing presence that just screams raw authority. You look at those aggressively dropped lines, the beautifully integrated hard cases that flow like liquid obsidian into the rear chassis, and you just know this thing does not want to just cruise the highway. It wants to completely annihilate it. It is wild to see how BMW took the traditional, laid-back bagger concept and completely twisted it into this high-tech, aerodynamic weapon that looks fast even when it is parked on its side stand. I am genuinely losing my mind over how beautiful and terrifying this thing looks, all at the same time, because it completely shatters every single boundary of conventional motorcycle design. If the looks do not completely break your brain, pressing that starter button absolutely will. Because what happens next is nothing short of a sonic explosion. Hidden beneath that beautifully sculpted, muscular fairing lies a mind-boggling, monstrous 1,649cc inline-6 cylinder engine that is so incredibly smooth and impossibly compact. It defies the literal laws of physics. The moment that power plant fires up, it does not just rumble or chug like a traditional cruiser. It emits this haunting spine-tingling, high-pitched, mechanical hell that sounds more like a Formula One race car or a fighter jet clearing the runway for takeoff. We are talking about an earth-shattering 160 horsepower and a massive 132 pound-feet of torque that is ready to absolutely rip your arms right out of their sockets. The exact microsecond you even think about twisting your right wrist. It is completely insane how a bike this substantial can possess an engine that spins up with the lightning-fast, manic urgency of a lightweight sport bike, creating a power delivery so terrifyingly linear that it feels like you are being strapped to a literal, solid-fuel rocket booster. I am shaking just thinking about it, because the sheer auditory violence and mechanical perfection of this Inline-Six is enough to make any grown adult burst into tears of pure, unadulterated joy. But wait, it gets so much crazier, because the way this absolute behemoth handles corners is going to make you question your entire reality and everything you ever learned in physics class. You look at this massive, luxurious touring machine, and your brain tells you it should steer like a heavy, lumbering freight train, but the absolute wizards at BMW used some kind of dark magic to make it handle like a nimble track weapon, thanks to the legendary dual-lever front suspension and the dual-lever guided rear end. The K16B completely separates steering forces from braking forces, meaning you can dive into a sharp, terrifying corner at ridiculous speeds, and the bike stays completely flat without an ounce of front-end dive. The next generation BMW Motorrad Dynamic ESA automatically adjusts the damping in real time, reading the road surface thousands of times per second to provide a ride so impossibly plush. It feels like you are floating on a magnetized cloud, yet it turns in with this razor-sharp, telepathic precision that is downright spooky. You can lean this massive bagger over until the pegs are practically scraping the asphalt, and it feels so rock-solid, so utterly unflappable, that you start laughing out loud like a maniac inside your helmet, because it makes absolutely zero sense for a bike of this size to move with such predatory agility. Step inside the cockpit of this beast, and you will feel like you just stepped onto the bridge of an intergalactic starship, because the technology on board is utterly overwhelming. Dominating your entire field of view is a breathtaking, massive 10.25-inch full-color TFT display that looks crisp enough to watch a blockbuster movie on, boasting full smartphone connectivity and integrated map navigation that makes traditional instrument clusters look like ancient stone tablets. This digital command center lets you customize every single aspect of your ride, switching between riding modes like rain, road, and dynamic, which instantly transform the bike from a gentle, sophisticated highway glider into a fire-breathing, aggressive track monster. And oh my god, The audio system on this thing is a literal rolling concert hall, featuring hidden, high-output speakers integrated seamlessly into the fairing. That pump-out audio so ridiculously loud, clear, and bass-heavy that you can hear your favorite tracks crystal clearly, even while blasting down the Autobahn at triple-digit speeds. It is an absolute tech lover's paradise. That handles everything from lean angle, sensitive traction control, to hill start assist, proving that BMW did not just build a motorcycle. They build a highly advanced supercomputer on wheels. The sheer attention to comfort and luxury on this machine is so over the top it borders on total madness, making you feel like absolute royalty. Every single time you slide into that deeply sculpted, ultra-premium saddle. BMW designed the rider ergonomics with this perfect relaxed, feet-forward cruising posture that lets you munch thousands of miles of highway without ever feeling a single hint of fatigue or soreness. The wind protection is another engineering masterpiece, featuring an electronically adjustable windscreen that moves up and down at the touch of a button, creating a perfect, calm pocket of still air that completely deflects the rushing wind right over your helmet. Both the rider and passenger seats are equipped with independent, multi-stage heating elements that can keep you toasty warm, even if you were riding through a literal blizzard, while the handlebars can be optioned with heating that ensures your hands stay perfectly nimble in any weather condition. Even the massive, weather-sealed side cases are engineered with central locking that integrates directly with the bike's keyless FOB system, meaning you can secure all your gear with a single click of a button before walking away from this rolling masterpiece. What completely blows my mind about the 2026 model year is how BMW managed to refine the electronic rider aids to a point where the bike almost feels like it is predicting your next move before you even make it. The new 6-axis inertial measurement unit is constantly monitoring the bike's pitch, roll, and yaw, feeding data into the specialized ABS, Pro, and dynamic traction control systems to ensure that you have maximum grip and stopping power. Even if you were forced to slam on the brakes while mid-corner, at a steep lean angle, the engine brake control is so incredibly sophisticated that it prevents the rear wheel from slipping or hopping during aggressive downshifts, allowing you to seamlessly click down through the smooth 6-speed gearbox without upsetting the chassis in the slightest. Then you have the revolutionary adaptive LED headlight assembly that actively swivels and tilts into the turns, throwing a massive blinding beam of light exactly where you are turning, rather than just pointing straight ahead into the dark, transforming nighttime riding from a stressful, terrifying guessing game into a beautifully illuminated, confidence-inspiring experience. It is a level of safety and engineering sophistication that makes you realize just how far ahead of the competition BMW truly is, leaving every other manufacturer scrambling in the dust. The sheer acceleration of this machine is something that will genuinely haunt your dreams, because when you twist that ride-by-wire throttle open, the world around you instantly blurs into a chaotic, dizzying streak of color. There is absolutely no lag, no hesitation, just an instantaneous, overwhelming wall of torque that pins you back into the seat and launches this massive bagger forward with the terrifying force of an aircraft carrier catapult. The way the K16B builds speed is so deceptive, because the engine is so shockingly smooth and vibration-free, meaning you can look down at that massive digital speedometer and realize you are going twice the speed limit without even trying. It treats highway overtaking maneuvers like a complete joke, allowing you to blast past rows of slow-moving traffic with a simple flick of the wrist, accompanied by that glorious, howling 6-cylinder exhaust note echoing off the pavement. I am telling you, the sensation of speed on this bike is completely addictive, delivering a massive, intoxicating rush of adrenaline that makes you want to keep riding until the road literally runs out.